This is the SoCal Intellect Podcast. I am the host, Nick Swish. I have my brother Tim Pearson here, and I have the guest, Mr. Quincy Miller himself. What's going on?
What's up with you, bro? What's up with you?
Chilling, man. Just tired of being in the house, same old. But
better safe than sorry, bro.
That's true. That is true.
Facts.
So, first question I wanted to ask you is, you made it to the NBA, man, and I know it's been a different experience for you playing overseas. What's really been the biggest, difference for you playing overseas versus your experience in the NBA? Like, which one do you prefer?
Let's talk specifics. Like, what you mean? Like, which one do I prefer? Of course, I want to play in the league. You know what I'm saying? The league is the best league in the world.
Yeah.
And, like, they look out for their players, man. You know what I'm saying? When you're done playing basketball, I think they take the best care of their players. I just think everything about the NBA is good, man.
Yeah. So would you say, like, with your experience overseas, like I know overseas you've been able to, you played more overseas than you did in the league as far as, you were drafted and then you decided to take your talents overseas because it was, more opportunity for you. Do you feel like being able to play overseas has let you, like, I guess, blossom more, as a player?
I think it's definitely taking my development to another level. I think just as far as, like, thinking the game, over there you got to really play the game and you got to really know how to shoot.
Yeah.
I think it definitely, like, changed my shooting because you got to be able to knock down shots or it's going to be tough for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And over there it really feels super physical too. So all them little knick-knack fouls is done over there.
See, yeah, that's one thing I never really, knew about the overseas play because it always seems like people try to water it down, but they don't know that people from overseas can play the game too. That's why they end up coming to the United States. So I can see it.
And especially in the Euroleague. In Euroleague, it's a lot of great players. That's where Luka came from, and a lot of other great European players.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize even Luka was in the Euroleague at one point. Like, he'd been playing pro since he was 14. So him coming to the league.
That did Luka's development right there.
Yeah.
That was all Luka's development right there.
Yeah, that's not even a surprise.
It's crazy, bro. Every game in Euroleague is a game, bro.
Right. So no, you good. So you played in Belgrade, right?
Serbia,
what was that like? What was that like? Because you was over there hooping over there.
Yeah, like out of all the like basketball environments, that's the best environment I ever played in. Just because it's crazy, bro. Like every night, outside of the Ivy League, because the fans boycotted at the time, but EuroLeague games, $15K, $20K guaranteed. Tickets sell out in like 2 minutes. It's crazy, bro. It's like it's crazy.
That's NBA status, right?
Man,
it's crazy, bro. They be having like riot gear at the game because it's like literally crazy. They be in their shirts off, flares going on. And you know they can smoke in the arena, so it'll be a cloud over the arena.
They can smoke in the arena. That is crazy.
Yeah, they can smoke cigarettes, bro. Yeah, they can smoke cigarettes in there.
I seen that little clip on. Shout out to Cassie Athena on the little was it Through the Lens?
Yeah,
the whole Serbia
experience. Man. That's my girl right there. She fire with the lens, bro. Top 5.
Right. Top 5, easy. Top 3.
Thanks.
Casey nice, dog.
So I want to ask you, talk about, you just came from Taiwan, right?
Yeah, I was in Taiwan.
So everybody wanted to know what it was like to play in an empty arena because all this COVID-19 stuff.
Yeah, I've been curious about that.
That's like 24 hours.
It was weird, right, bro. Like, it was lit, but it was weird at the same time. Cause you like, all right, you know how like when somebody hit a nice shot or something, they give momentum. Ain't no momentum. Like, I don't need it. Like, I don't need the extra shit. So for other people, they do. So it was like, it was a weird experience, bro. It was weird. It was different. It was just, I don't like it though. I would prefer to have people there. You know what I'm saying? I think
like a pickup game
that's
that
a part
counts.
of the whole thing. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I would prefer to have people there, bro.
That makes sense. I feel like, as far as how the NBA,
especially because
it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, man. And then especially when you're playing in a smaller arena, it feel like, this shit is like a screen or something. You know what I'm saying? You're like,
that's like playing that 24-hour fitness right there.
Man. Yeah, for real.
And then Quincy, you went to Baylor, so you used to big crowds. So I know that was
big crowds. Everybody getting hyped.
Yeah, Baylor was lit. I remember the game we played Xavier, and then the game we played Kentucky, we had like 68,000.
I was at both of them games.
In the Georgia game.
I was there, but I was at both of them games.
Right. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely an environmental change. I know that had to be crazy because
it's gonna be booming. I mean, I don't be paying attention, but it just be crazy when you be looking up. You see so many people.
Yeah, you like used to it.
During the timeout, if you happen to look up, you be like, yeah. If you happen to look up during the timeout or something, you be like,
but at Red Star, ain't no way you can ignore them, bro. It's like, I could be this close to you, and we gonna have to go closer to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how loud it is, bro.
I know, man. I don't like, if I was in the league, I feel like I would be, feeling out of place about it. Like, that's just such a weird environment to be in because, playing in the league, whether it's overseas or it's in the NBA, you used to having, a loud crowd, whether they there to distract you or root you on. I know that had to be a crazy experience.
Not even that, though, because Quincy been playing for years, and me and you been playing for years, so we've had people in the crowd at Little League games.
Exactly. So we used to it. Like, we used to.
Even a couple people, bro, you know what I'm saying?
The simple
somebody making noise.
Man.
So, yeah.
So what I wanted to ask you next was, when you was in the league, I wanted to ask you, did you have like a favorite teammate? Like, who's your favorite NBA teammate you ever had?
Teammate or team?
Teammate.
Man, bro, I built a lot of like good relationships with a lot of people, bro. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't want to name drop.
Yeah. Like I built a lot of good relationships, like a lot of my teammates, bro. But like one of my favorite people, I think a couple of my favorite people, Ty Lawson, of course.
Okay.
Like, he's just a good dude. Wilson Chandler. It's like he put me on game with the fashion shit. A lot of games, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, one time he was like, bro, I got some kicks for you. I'm like, all right, bet. I pull up to his crib, bro. It's like 40 pair of kicks. I'm talking Valencia, set. I'm like, bro, all right, which ones you want me to take? He's like, take all them shits, bro. I'm like, nigga, I'm a rookie, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
you're like, I ain't gonna pass on this.
Hey, it will put me on game, bro.
I feel it though. That's what's up. Because as far as the kick game go, man, everybody gotta step their game up. But you had early as a rookie, so you was already on. So that's
it will put me on. I had some good teammates, bro. Like all my teammates was good, really, for real. I ain't really had no beef. I ain't really had no bad teammates throughout my career.
That's good. So there's been a lot of stuff going on in the world, mainly in the U.S., like the whole George Floyd situation. You know, we still out here. We ain't getting no justice and no peace. So I wanted to get your thoughts on, you know, people protesting, like some people trying to protest, you know, coming back to the NBA to resume the season. Like, do you feel like people should, you know, sit out if they want to fight for social justice, or do you think it's just like a big sham?
Honestly, with everything that's going on, I think it's been having an effect. The officers when they arrested at first, and now they're arrested, now they're getting charged, and it's ongoing and ongoing. So I think the stuff that we've been doing has been progressive. And these individuals, I feel like NBA has allows their athletes to be individuals. You know what I'm saying? So if people, they feel that way and they want to speak up, that's their choice. You know what I'm saying? It should be that they allowed to. There's no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And if they feel some type of way, especially at their time, they should express it. I have no issue with that.
I agree. You know, I noticed with some people, you know, I feel like they don't take it as genuine when some of these players feel like if they sit out, it will send more of a message. But, you know, you got to realize the NBA is a big league. Like, it's internationally known. And when people of, you know, these guys' caliber, like, it's only like 400-something people in the NBA. So if somebody decides to sit out for something like that, it's going to hit. Like, you going to know, like, for example, like if Kyrie was playing for the Nets in the playoffs and he sat out, that's going to say something. Like, it's not just going to –
It's going to send a big message. But at the end of the day, that's his choice. And if he feels that way, well, so be it. You know what I'm saying? That's what Kyrie going to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I respect that as a man. He's standing on something, bro. You got to respect it. 10 toes down, bro.
Thing is, I think it's a sacrifice thing, and you got to really respect players who are willing to, you know, this is their livelihood. Like, most of these guys, they ain't had no regular job, you know, outside of playing basketball.
But we also are talking about Kyrie, bro. Like, this
that is,
a lot of cash, bro. Yeah. So he's not worried about if he stops today. He's doing
it ain't like he playing on no minimum contract.
That's a different type of combo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's a different type of money.
You got to factor that in too, bro.
Yeah. You know, I do give tremendous props to, you know, any of these players who was even considering doing that, because, you know, they rather admit that they're okay with, you know, giving up what their livelihood is, at least to hopefully see change. So I respect that about them, and I will give them props for that.
Man, they taking leadership at this time. It's like an important moment in history, but it's like time is going to go down the history books, and they're going to be a part of it. Their name going to be a part of it if they doing shit like that. So respect it or don't, they're going to do it. I do.
Yeah. And 2020 has already been enough of a history book year, so we need some kind of good history, something in our favor.
All right, let's turn it around.
Timmy, you got anything you want to add to this, or any other questions?
Nah, I pretty much asked Q what I want to ask him on camera, you know.
You already know, bro.
As far as the questions go, I feel like I accomplished the same. You know, I got pretty much what I wanted to ask you, Alex. So I appreciate it.
You know, bro. Appreciate y'all boys having me, man. Hey, y'all stay safe here.
We got to. We got to get Q some of this SoCal Intellect.
Yeah, we got to get you some merch. We'll send you some.
Send your boy. Yeah. Send your boy some shit, man.
We got you covered.
Most definitely, man. We got you covered. All right, man. When it's safe, when we get back outside, we're going to have to get back together, man.
All right, bro. Be safe, yo.
All right.
Good looking.